Welcome to What About Us, the podcast, where I, Bronagh, will be introducing you to some of the people behind the What About Us musical and movement. The What About Us project aims to give a voice to a generation who are demanding change, using the international language of music and the hashtag What About Us music social media platforms. The protest musical, which premieres in Dublin next year, addresses issues such as conflict, greed, human trafficking, and mental health, all wrapped up in a beautiful love story. It is being created using a collaborative process with musicians and artists from all over the globe. The storyline is being workshopped in Dublin, Jerusalem, and Palestine. The movement reaches a wider audience and addresses a broader range of societal issues, including climate change, the environment, war, and human rights, which affect the youth of today and tomorrow. It's an ambitious project, but one with a rapidly growing following. In today's episode, we speak with Ali Lyons, who's the young producer of What About Us. We spoke about Ali's own musical theatre experience, the difference in being involved in the planning compared to being on the stage, and what is yet to come. Hi Ali, do you want to just give a brief introduction to yourself?
So I'm Ali Lyons, I'm 19 and I'm an English studies student from Trinity, and I am the young producer of What About Us. And I'm currently sitting in the second week, the start of the second week from our workshops in Balbriggan.
Brilliant. And so in terms of like your own background and everything, you were obviously very interested in joining this project because you've got a background in performing arts, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So I actually started performing at a very young age, about 4, I'd say. I did my first show then, and I continued to do musical theatre all throughout my life from that age. And I was performing in theatres all out around Ireland, such as National Concert Hall and, all the cantos and all that kind of stuff. And I just really, gained a true love for it. And that was how all my friends, I made so many friends throughout it. And I started to get a true passion for it really in secondary school. And that was kind of when I went into specialising in different things. So I loved doing on camera. I did a lot of on-camera film, such as films and advertisements and documentaries and things like that. And then I also kind of specialised in dancing. So I went away from the kind of singing side of theatre, and I really focused on dancing. And that was when I trained in styles such as jazz, contemporary, ballet, hip hop, tap, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I loved doing that, and I did all my exams. I really loved it. That was kind of my focus. And then unfortunately when I got injured, I had a knee operation. I could go back to kind of the on-camera film, which was really handy. And yeah, so it was kind of secondary school I gained a true passion for it, but I've been doing it all my life. And my family are big into it. My sisters do a lot of performing as well. So it's always nice to be able to have them and their support as well. And we can, practice together and learn from each other. So that's always been great. So yeah, that's kind of how I've just been in it all my life and do kind of every aspect, which is really nice. You kind of get the whole, you learn on film and live theatre is so different, and I love both equally. So yeah, I've been very lucky. I've had a great kind of past experience, so I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and so that kind of brings us up to, I suppose, your role. What About Us then? So can you describe that a bit, like what you do as the young producer?
Absolutely, yeah. So I started off actually Julie just contacted me and was just like, basically, I don't know a lot of theatre contacts, and I know you do. So we're hosting a songwriting competition, and could you help us promote it? And that's really just how it started off. And there wasn't any role, there wasn't any commitments or name on me or anything like that. It was just basically saying, can you just help me out a bit? I was like, absolutely, I'd love to. And that was when she kind of explained the thing to me, and I was really interested because I was like, I love musical theatre anyway, and a new and upcoming musical is something I would love to help out. And whether that was, I didn't even know at that stage I was going to be hugely involved. I was just really interested in it. And yeah, so it just started off. I didn't really know much about the musical, about the project. I just really helped, promote the songwriting competition that they were doing at the time. So I just reached out to absolutely everyone I knew and passed all the information on to Julie and vice versa, all that kind of stuff. So I was just kind of the link to contacts. That's how it began. And then I was joining more Zoom calls. Obviously, everything was working remotely at home, but I was joining all the Zoom calls with people from the rest of the production and marketing team, people from abroad in Palestine and Israel, and other people who've been involved in the project for months or years now. So I just developed a deeper understanding for the project and what it was about. I went and educated myself, did research on the history behind involved, the countries involved, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I really started to gain a true passion for it then, because I got to see young people who don't have the opportunities that I've had. And that was when I really kind of clicked with it, because I was like, wow, we're working with people who have such a different background to me, but still have the same interest and love that I do, which is music. So that was when I really started getting passionate about it, and I started getting more involved and, you know, joining, as I said, joining more calls, talking to more people. And then that was when I was asked, actually, you know what, you really suit this role, and we would love you to be on board and just become the kind of the role of young producer. And that basically was brought in because they really want the young generation to be promoting the main message of this musical and really getting the word out there, because I think it's really important to have somebody of my age and my generation who understands social media and what's going on in the world. And so that was just how, you know, that's how my role was introduced, and they asked me to do it, which I was delighted to take part in it. And I became more involved, talking to more people, constantly promoting on social media, getting more people involved from all around Ireland, different countries, the UK, America, just really getting in touch with artists and musicians to see if they wanted to be a part of our project. And at that stage, we weren't sure if workshops and stuff were going to go ahead. So we were just really trying to get our social media out there and say, look, we want to, you know, be more than just a project that we've been. We really want to push the musical theatre side of this. So then that was when I got videos and clips and everything from people that I knew, people that I reached out to, people with different stories, cultures, backgrounds. It was really, really amazing and eye-opening for me to see. So we got, yeah, that was mainly the main thing of just me reaching out to people. And then it obviously progressed to inviting people to our workshops. And it was also building a relationship with people, which I loved. And I learned so much from them, they learned from me. So yeah, that's kind of been the main thing of it. The background of my role so far, yeah.
How'd you actually meet Julie? Like, what's the connection there?
Well, I met Julie through Tom, actually. Tom is in our IMT cast, yeah. So I've known Julie for a while now, and yeah, she was just like, I know you have a bubbly kind of, you know, personality. I think you can maybe talk to people, you know, do that kind of that side of it. So I was like, absolutely, sure, I love doing that. So it fell into me really naturally, and I didn't have to, you know, gain a true love for this project, but I did, and that was I was just so honoured and so grateful to ask to be part of a team as amazing as this and a project as original and special as this, yeah.
So you're kind of, I suppose, to summarise your role a bit, it's kind of reaching out to people, building relationships, and kind of being that young contact for the musical, I guess, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's definitely, you know, really getting that link between the IYMT cast, which would be people similar age to me, and kind of getting communicate with the production and marketing team through them. So if they have anything, kind of not necessarily problems, but just, you know, feedback and things like that, they can come and talk to me. And I've built amazing relationships and friendships with them. So it's been really natural, a really natural process that it doesn't necessarily feel like we're in a business or you know, we're working on something. It is really just a bit of fun and you know, like as I said, so many friendships have been built. So that's yeah, it's been a really natural process, but it's mainly kind of the whole communicating between the young people involved and the rest of the team as well.
Yeah, because I know when I was talking to Stephen, he was kind of saying to me, like, the whole kind of thing with the workshops, beyond kind of having them be cast members and that, is also to get their input on the issues that are affecting them and stuff. And I thought that was really interesting, because when you're kind of just coming into this thing, like, obviously you're very involved with the cast and everything, but I wouldn't be, you know. And when I was coming in, I just presumed, oh, they're just part of the musical, do you know, that kind of way. I didn't realize they had such creative kind of input with the story and everything.
Yes, absolutely. And I think maybe they might have been surprised by that too, but I think they've probably surprised themselves at how creative they have been, because they have never failed to impress us. So they basically, the story has been written and the script has been written, but it's not finished yet, and there's been multiple drafts. So what they're doing at the moment is they're breaking down each scene and breaking down each act and really giving their kind of ideas and unique personalities and experiences from their past, you know, their life and everything, and to see how they relate to the issues that are going on in the world. Because we've really modern issues such as, you know, there's conflict and war between religions, which is obviously a huge topic going on at the moment, and there's human trafficking, there's aspects of, you know, racism and really societal issues that we are living in today. And I think there's no better people than our generation to really speak out about that and show how they're relating to it, because we're the ones living in it at the moment. And some people in our cast can really relate and some people can't. They've just seen it on the news, you know. So it's really nice to get different aspects of that. So what they've been doing is they've been going away either in small groups or by themselves and rewriting scripts, or, you know, songs, choreography, all that kind of stuff, or it could be poetry, really on how they want to express these issues. So it could be following the script directly, or it could be their complete own and individual new unique way of presenting that kind of issue. So it's been amazing so far. And yes, it's a lot to take in, and everyone's kind of saying, oh, well, if we have 10 different ideas, how are we meant to get this into the script? And that was the beauty of week one and the start of these workshops, was to get that messiness, get it all out there, all the ideas and creativity from so many different people. And then now it's going to be, broken down and really compacted into the storyline. So we're not going completely entirely off script, but it's really nice to get people's, especially the young generation of people. There's people from all around Ireland. We have people coming abroad. So it's so nice we're able to meet now in this bubble and in person, and really kind of just, bounce off each other and each other's ideas. Some are really contrasting. Some people disagree with each other, but that's the beauty of it, and everyone's really come together, listening and learning loads. So yeah, they've done amazing. They've created original songs in the space of honestly 40 minutes. Some people have composed some, some instrumentals, and people come up with amazing choreography, and it's honestly been amazing to watch. And I think, as I said, they're definitely surprising themselves in how talented and how creative they've been, because I think we're all shocked. Not that we doubted them for a second, but just saying like, wow, this is so special, and they're so talented. And as I said, there's no better people to do it than the young generation that are living in the world with all these problems.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's great to have, some people with lived experience and then other people who haven't, so that they can learn from that and everything. So it's really good in that way. And it all helps to create the ultimate storyline, really, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. And that's the thing, is we can all relate to the story in some way, in one way or another. But it's amazing getting all different. And that was our plan from day one, was to get, young people who love music to come and tell these stories and promote these problems. That is the main kind of, real message of our project and our musical. So that's what's already happened in week one. We're so lucky that was already happened so quickly and so naturally. No one's been forced or anything. And so it's all come out so naturally, and people are really developing a deeper understanding for the story and the issues that are going on. People, like you hear someone give an amazing piece of poetry or a monologue or something, and you say, wow, I never thought about the world in that way, and some people just have such amazing and unique outlooks on the world. So yeah, we're really trying to promote these issues, just create awareness for these issues, but in a really positive way, and just say how we can leave a better world behind. And that's everyone's main goal that's the main message of this musical.
And if you were to give a kind of a summary of week one in terms of progress, what would you say happened?
Well, a lot happened. We are so proud of what we've achieved in week one, both personally and for the musical. But basically, we began the week obviously just really getting our COVID regulations in place, making sure everyone is here safely. Everyone had to get tested and everything. So everything was safe, definitely. That was kind of our priority at the start. But the second the cast members and musicians arrived, the team and I had put up storyboards of the storyline and images of different, emotions and styles, cultures, and different things like that, just to really get people inspired the second they walked in the door and get thinking about the story. So we didn't hesitate to, really throw them into it and get thinking the second they walked in. So that was, the main bit of it, walking in, reading the story, getting inspiration, and get your minds kind of thinking on how we can develop this, or say, oh, I really can see this picture in this character. This has made me see that they feel this way in this scene, that kind of stuff. So that was kind of at the beginning, it was very much, okay, we have the story, we've worked on it for months now, let's see what we can do with it and how we're going to bring our own twist to it in person as well, which was amazing and so unusual for everyone. No one was familiar with it and working in a large group. But yeah, so that was kind of the beginning, was going away, taking parts of the story, breaking it down and developing it in your own individual way, and coming back and presenting it to the group. And that was the style Shaney is working with our INT cast, and he's doing amazing. Like he's getting, really pushing the creative side of their brains and getting them to do stuff they've probably never done before, because no one really at our age would go and write a script. So it's amazing to go and see how they've been challenged in so many ways. But yes, they were going off in individual groups or by themselves to go and write different scenes. It could be they could have gone and written a full act. They could have written a scene of just that happens like one tiny aspect of the show. So it was really just getting what bits of the show stand out to you and how you want to develop or change them. And some people came back with really similar ideas, which was great, because we can say, okay, that's a really stable part of the show. Some people came back with completely different ones that we never thought about before, which really opened the minds to others. So it was so creative, all in the 1 week. And at night time, we needed a bit of entertainment and a bit of fun, after a hard day of work. So we had some sing-alongs. People came up and performed their originals or classics, that everyone sang along with, which was amazing to watch. And it was all just a bit of fun. And at the end of the day, as I said, we're all here because we love music and musical theatre. So that was really special, and it really created a bond between us all. Like, I can't believe how close everyone is, and it feels like we've been working together for God knows how long, but it's honestly, it's only been a week, and it's the best group of people. And then so that kind of continued out during the day. And obviously our marketing team and production team were constantly communicating with each other, having meetings, basically just to get everyone in touch and know what was going on, because we're obviously all working on different aspects of the show and of the business itself. So that was a huge part. We had to come and have meetings with each other to make sure everyone was up to date on what was going on. And then we were lucky enough to meet Paul, who plays George Washington in Hamilton in Broadway. So he actually came into us one of the days and listened to each cast member, wrote down the story in their own way and added in plot twists and everything. So he came and listened to that and was blown away by the talent, of course, and gave us amazing feedback and advice on how we can develop musicals, because he's actually written a show himself. So it was great to get advice from somebody who's so high up on Broadway. It was amazing. So he gave us amazing advice, and we got to know him. We had to sing along with him as well. So that was an amazing, completely different aspect. Someone new coming in, a fresh brain on the Thursday when we were all, really tired, our fourth day of the workshop. And then on Friday we had the amazing Jane Shortall, the Irish choreographer, come in, and we had one of the most intense dance workshops, but it was so great. It was so energetic and inspiring. And she taught us amazing dance routines that relate to the storyline, and really kind of helped us figure out how choreography can be added into each character and each scene, which was something some people thought about, but some people didn't at all. So it was an amazing new part that we needed we needed to be thrown into the dance and the build back up the energy on the last day, which was amazing. So yeah, we've really covered all aspects of it. We also had our documentary team in. They've been filming and getting clips for our very own documentary, which was, so we've really covered all aspects in just 1 week. So I can't believe, and there's so much more that I've left out there, but that's kind of a brief summary of it, of how much we've achieved. So I'm so proud of us all, and I can't wait to see what comes in the next few weeks, because if we can achieve that much in 1 week, we can achieve a lot more in the next few. So
it sounds incredible. I can't believe how much ground is kind of covered there. It's amazing. And just in terms of that, I suppose, today marks week 2. What do you think is to come week by week?
I think the main kind of expectation and our goal is to really finalize our story, because it is a bit too broad right now, and we're really trying to break that down, get a really establish and finalize that script by the end of the 4 weeks, and on top of that, just really develop a deeper understanding for the show and our project and the message we want to send out, because it definitely was we were so grateful to have such an amazing team online and to be able to work remotely, but I think we really needed to come together to really figure out what we were about and what message we wanted to send. And so I think just really getting that clarity for everyone, and that's going to come as we've already developed a huge understanding of what we are and what the show is going to bring in just 1 week. So I think that's really going to be clear by the end of the few weeks. But I think on top of the storyline will be linking the music into the script, because they've been working separately, and once we kind of have that story set in stone, the amazing work that Des Cullen and Aaron Wilkinson have been working on is going to really link and really be combined with our script. And that's when we're going to say, okay, we can add these lyrics into this song that's there's plenty of music that's been written with no lyrics. So we really need to combine that in once we've got our final story, and see how the music can relate. And that's when we add in choreography and everything comes together. So yeah, it's all just working in its own sections right now. So I think in the next few weeks it's slowly going to crawl in together and combine our musical. But I've no doubt that that's going to happen probably quicker than we expect, because everyone's working so hard and at such a fast pace. But yeah, it's all about developing a deeper understanding and learning from each other. I think it's going to be a huge thing as well.
Brilliant. And can you talk a bit about the IYMT cast, in terms of their talent and kind of a breakdown, I suppose, of who they are?
Yeah, so they're a part of Irish Youth Musical Theatre. They've been doing workshops and they did auditions. They've been workshopping for the last few months on Zoom, and they had interviews to finalise our cast for these workshops. So it was very intense, and they worked so hard. And what they were doing in the last few months was, as I said, workshopping that storyline and showing, bringing their own kind of monologues, and they go home on the weekends and work all weekend for their next call, to show what their deeper understanding and what they can develop in such a short amount of time. And that was what we needed to bring to the workshops. So we finalised it down to the amazing people that are here with us today, and they vary between an age of around 18 to 20, 24, about that, 25, and we had some under 18s as well, but they obviously couldn't stay with us for the whole time. But basically, it's a whole mix of people from all around Ireland and abroad, and there's such a range of talents there. I've honestly never worked with a group with such, like such a broad range of talents. There's songwriters, there's composers, there's singers, there's dancers, there's playwrights. It's honestly filled with talent, and what they've been doing is they've really just shown what they can do in their own individual way. There's not one person the same there, and I think that is so special. Everyone brings something new and unique to the table each day, and they're bringing it together from their own aspect. And I've just, as I said, I've never met a bunch so talented.
And how many are there? And would they all have kind of studied performing arts, or? There's
about, I'd say, close to like between like 15 and 20 there, because people are coming in, like, coming and going in terms of availability. But the main people are here in the bubble, because we're obviously keeping our same COVID bubble. But there's between 15 and 20 of them. And so some have just done, regular degrees, that could be arts degrees, business and everything. There's people who just have regular college degrees and musical theatre as their passion. And most are kind of saying musical theatre is the way I want to go in life, and I just haven't got there yet. So this could be their big break. And others study musical theatre full time, whether that's their college course, or we have people out from the UK, from like Erdang and performing arts colleges over there, which obviously bring huge talent too. So it's a complete range of people, which is great as well, because you want people with different experiences and different interests as well, which is amazing. We have people who study history or journalism, and it's amazing to see that, like, okay, yes, there's people doing completely different college courses, but at the end of the day, we all have that similar interest and that similar passion for music. So it's so nice, as I said, it's just completely different people, and that, I think, is really special, because if everyone's the same, doing the same thing every day, we wouldn't be able to bring your own twist to the story. So that's, I think it's amazing having different people of different talents and interests.
What is it like transitioning from, I suppose, being on the stage to being behind the scenes, kind of planning and producing the musical?
Yeah, it's been, oh my God, it's been the best experience ever. Like I just have huge respect now to the people who create musicals and who are in the background, because I never knew any of it. And I've always been the one, I thought I was doing the difficult job by, going up and performing and getting the claps from the audience, but that is not the hard work. It is all the background, and everyone's commitment is amazing. And it's honestly, I think the hardest part has been like communication, which is a huge thing I've learned, because you forget that you really have to communicate and tell everyone what you're doing, so everyone is linked in the whole time. And people always forget about that, because you're doing your own thing and you have your own thing to work on, but you forget that we all need to link together, because at the end of the day, we're working together for this big production. So it's been amazing to see, the marketing side, the business side, and then like seeing people with like the auditioning and then I get to see the performance side as well, and I've taken part in a bit of it too. So I'm really getting the best of both worlds, but it's been a huge eye-opener and an amazing experience to see the background, the hard work that goes on, because this hasn't just been going on for a few months, this has been going on years, and Sammy has been putting in work and time and effort into this for years now. So I'm so lucky to be part of the team and really get to go and come here now and get the groundwork done and see all the background part of it. Like, it's amazing, and I didn't realize that this much goes into it. We've people covering all sorts of jobs I never even knew existed, and that have been so important and such a big part of this. So it's been a huge eye-opener for me.
Brilliant. And in terms of I suppose your relationships with the cast and everything, you're finally in person versus being on Zoom. It's kind of hard to bond with people on Zoom in a sense. So what has it been like finally getting to meet them all and hang out with them and everything?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's so funny. Like, the first day we met each other, everyone was like, "Oh, you're smaller in person," or "You're taller in person than I thought," because we've never seen each other in person. But I didn't expect us to bond and get along as quickly as we did. Now, I know musical theatre people are always, confident and outgoing. That's usually how they are. But these people are just the best bunch, and so genuine and so down to earth. And at the end of the day, everyone is here for the same outcome. Everyone is here, wants to work together, and everyone is so encouraging to each other. And that was the thing. Like, someone said to me the other day, they were like, "Wow, I've never been in a community that I'm so not judged here. I can get up and do what I want." This is the beauty of it, is that everyone's getting up and just workshopping. We're throwing ideas out there, throwing your talents out there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Everyone's so supportive of each other. and it's just an amazing group. And we've had our like, fun sessions at night time, with the music and stuff, and that's where we really bonded over lunch. And it's those moments you don't realize you are, but we've really come so close together after 1 week, which we're also surprised by. I feel like I've known these people for years, and I just haven't. So it's definitely been strange working in person, and I think everyone had to get used to that for the first few days, but it's been amazing. And I think we're going to create like a really special bond and cast and relationships for life through this. So yeah, I'm really lucky, and everyone's so grateful for it.
Brilliant, Ali. Are you excited for what's to come?
Yeah, I can't wait. As I said, like there's been nothing like this before, and yeah, it brings out an original message and takes away from stereotypical musical that will be on every day. But to portray these messages as a young person, and like say that I can maybe make, like, this is my opportunity to make change in the world, is just the best thing ever. And I knew that was special in itself, but now that we've worked together in 1 week, it's even more special and more amazing, and a better experience than I could have ever imagined. So it gets better and better every day, and I'm so excited to finally really see the musical progress and the storyline come together, and really just see our production that we've dreamed of for months now to really get to the stage. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Thanks so much for tuning into the What About Us podcast. Be sure to follow all of our social media platforms at #WhatAboutUsMusic.